So I wanted to make a little video here about the word later as it pertains to ADHD people. I'm a pretty handy guy. I enjoy building things, fixing things around my house, in the yard. The other day I was working on a project where I was building a wooden game board for some friends as a gift. And I really liked it. It came out great. My wife thought it was great. And I kind of had this feeling of victory. Yay. My brain had this rush of satisfaction from it. My dopamine reward pathway was quite pleased with me. The problem is that standing there holding the game board for my wife was not the definition of done. I still had a workbench that was covered in sawdust, paintbrushes, drill bits, and all of those things were part of the project. They needed to get put away. And when my little ADHD brain looked at that table, I had an inner dialogue that started. My brain kind of said, I really know I should do this now. I have my game board though. And, it doesn't really feel satisfying to tidy up. I mean, I had already reached the pinnacle of yay, and the rest of it was just ah. My brain said to itself, let's do that later. That word, in my opinion, is one of the most dangerous words for someone with ADHD. And that is because later never happens. We all know that. With all good intentions, you tell yourself, I'll do that later. And you really mean it. But later does not come because you walk out of the room, something else steps into your field of view, and there you go, following some new path. And what you left behind you on a workbench full of sawdust and drill bits is gone from your thoughts. I understand that those kinds of habits don't just affect me. They affect the people I live with, the people I work with. It's not fair. My wife constantly is telling me that she can tell what I was doing that day by following the trail of unfinished projects I leave in my wake. In my mind, I'm finished. Unfortunately, everybody else doesn't see it that way. That's because they have to clean up my mess before they can do what they came to do that day. If it's at the kitchen counter and I left all of the plates out from lunch, my wife has to put them all away before she can make something for herself. That's just not fair. For me, how do I deal with that? I have two things. First, going into the project, I put clean as my destination. I have to redefine for myself what it looks like to be finished. If I allow myself to feel like the product is the definition of finished, then I will continue to struggle with the cleanup part of it. And so by making the destination include the cleanup, it means I can feel good about the product, but I can also feel good about the cleanup at the end because I placed value on it in advance. And so my little dopamine reward pathway goes, that was nice. You made something and you cleaned up. 2 wins. Great. The other thing I do is that I have learned to stop when I say the word later to myself. I force myself to stop doing what I'm doing and assess, why am I saying that? Yeah, there are times when there really is no time to finish. If you happen to be working on a project or anything else, there are times when you have outside obligations that you can't move. Your dentist isn't going to care that you missed your scheduled dental appointment because you were cleaning your paintbrushes. They're still going to charge you for a no-show fee. Not their problem. But sometimes I'm just being lazy. I just have this overwhelming, I worked so hard to make this thing, and I don't have the energy to do this last bit. Really? I probably do. And so a lot of times, I have to admit to myself, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear you saying later. But let's just do it now. You're already dirty. You're already covered in sawdust. You're here. And that stuff's going to be in your way the next time you try and do something. So slow down. Because to-do lists are great. To-do lists can help keep you focused. But to-do lists also put the reward on the check the box. I did it. I did it. I did it. And if you check boxes based on reaching the product stage of what you're doing, then you're just going to be compelled to, the next thing. Oh, but I didn't finish cleaning up that stuff. Yeah, but I got it checked off, so it's good. No, it's not. So we have to slow down and stop leaping to the next thing to accomplish and be honest with ourselves and say, did I do that the way I should have? Is it always easy? Lord, no, it's not. I struggle with it every day. But that's what I have found. Now, with my ADHD coaching, that may not work for you. What my promise is that is I understand the feelings you have inside you. These things that are just so hard to explain to neurotypical people. I don't know why it feels so overwhelmingly hard to finish the last 8 minutes of cleanup of a project. But your why might not be my why. And that's what's important. So often we just see, oh, here's the one solution to whatever you've got going on TikTok. That's great. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Did anybody actually bother to figure out why you were doing this particular action? Well, if the reason isn't the same one as the person posting the TikTok, their magic solution, this one thing you have to do, it's not going to work. So I will take the time to talk to you, to figure out what you need, and then find your solution. One that is sustainable, that you can maintain, that you can make part of your daily habits, and slowly you can change what you are calling finished. Later.